I think that the Diddy story is so fantastic for so many reasons, and I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to try my best. The first question that everybody is asking, and you should be asking, and I would be asking if I were you, is the same fate going to happen to him that happened to that other guy whose name begins with an E or began with an E? The dude with the islands. This is one of those things which I am fascinated about. Your government looks you in the eye, just like with Kamala and others, and says, "Oh, this makes sense. No, this is terrific. No, no, she makes sense. Oh, no, no, absolutely." This was a homicide without a doubt. This is the one that just gets me. Michael Baden, who is the preeminent forensic pathologist. Everybody loved him when he spoke on behalf of George Floyd. Well, I wonder how much he got paid for that. I'm just saying, not that you can buy him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that for a moment. But everybody liked him when they said, "Oh, yes, George Floyd died from an opioid or fentanyl overdose or whatever it was." George Floyd, I mean, this apotheosis of this guy into this sainthood, I will never understand. But you know what? It's moved to this particular point, and what are you going to do? He was responsible. The officer who basically dispatched him was equally as ludicrous for doing this. That was the worst looking ever. The knee on the neck. Come on, man. What are you doing? It's not like Pops Biden. Come on, man. Come on, man. But you first have to understand these people do things in front of you. They want you to know they're not afraid of you. You mean nothing to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? You mean nothing to them. They don't care about you. The more obvious it looks, the better. They think it's terrific. They think if something is so glaringly obvious to the point where people are saying, "Oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me." They love it. Bill Barr stood in front of you when this event happened and said, "Oh yeah, it was well, let me explain this." And I got, please forgive me for being cheeky when it comes to my words because of algorithms and the like. But it's one of those things that you have to understand. They love to tell you things that are obvious. Paul McKee says, "Knee on the shoulder blade, just as strange." That's not what happened, Paulie. That's not what they thought. That was one of the most ridiculous. No need for that. This was here. Go back and look at it. Listen, I'm with you, my friend. I'm not going to try that. Officer Chauvin, he did. I would have had every single 100. I would have had so many expert witnesses from police studies saying that's exactly what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And what citizens are not supposed to do is you're not supposed to resist. He was a thug. He was a thug, a drug addict, a criminal. You want to go through this again? It's moot at this particular point. You understand this? Look what this guy says. "I don't even think so-and-so is dispatched." Listen to me. I know you probably are a good person. Chaos. You're probably a good man, or I could probably a man again. You probably have a lot of friends, and you're probably, I think, a good person. But you give us a bad name when you pull that kind of crap. "Oh, I don't, he's somewhere else." This is nuts. This is nuts. They wouldn't let him put any other. They wouldn't admit evidence. Well, I really couldn't tell you. I don't want to talk too much about the McAfee case, but excuse me, the Chauvin case or the whatever. But please, please don't get. Remember years ago, people were saying things like, "I'll never forget this." John Kennedy Jr. is alive. Look, there he is. Remember that one? It's like, where do you get this from? Do you know how hard it is to pull off non deaths? Please stop it. You're giving us a bad name. You're pulling that conspiracy theory stuff. You're acting crazy. It may be fun, chaos. You may like this in your maybe throwing a few back, but when you say, I don't even think it, no, do you know there's a lot of people there who have to sign off on death warrants? No, 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 no. Please, for the love of God, stop it. But let me tell you something, one chaos. Let me ask you a quick question. How many of you folks believe in something? Listen to me carefully. There's Phoenix. Chaos says, do we have a picture? No. Chaos, you don't have to have a picture. I hate to break it to you, but you don't have to have a picture. There are cases there. Michael Baden, who was testifying as to hyoid cartilage fractures, petechial hemorrhaging. He was there during the autopsy. Stop this. You're giving us a bad name. They think we're crazy. I know you're a good person, but stop this stuff. You came along, you walk by, you go, oh, they're talking about this. I don't even think I think he's alive. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't come along and just come up with this wild stuff. Listen, there's a lot of weird things, but please, you have to understand something. They think we're crazy. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you something while we're on this subject. You ready for this? Who thinks that weather could or even is manufactured and weaponized? Answer my question. I'm from Florida, not Florida, Florida, Tampa, not the Tampa Bay Area, Tampa, Ybor City, okay? Second generation. What happened and what's going on? How many tornadoes did they get? How much tornadic activity? Do you understand what's going on with this stuff? Do you have any idea? And let me also tell you something. Not only if I could figure a way to weaponize weather, I wouldn't need another rocket or rifle or anything. I could just sit back and say, hey, ain't that something? But I want you to listen to me very carefully, because this ain't no conspiracy theory. This, I assure you, like you cannot believe. Listen to me. There is a product that I have sponsored, oh my God, since the beginning of time. It's called preparedness.com. Okay. It's the My Patriot Supply Company. They are the best. Okay. The best. And when I first started this, people would come along and they say stuff like, what are you talking about? Are you a prepper? They gave it a name. Prepper. Like you're a nut. Like you're a crazy person. Like you're crazy. What are you talking about? They made it sound like you're just a crazy person. You're a lunatic. You're a nut. You're crazy. Well, listen to me. You're not crazy. You're not crazy in the least. So preparewithlionel.com. Right now, if you go, they have an emergency, a brand new, this is the deal of deals, a 3-month emergency food kit. You can save $508 in free extras for a limited time if you offer today. I'm not talking about something you don't need. I'm talking about emergency food, but they also have water purification systems, gravity fed, filtration, purification, the containers, survival items, solar power generators, off the grid biomass ovens, hurricane proof matches, hatchets, cutting devices, self powered space heaters, waterproof EMP backups, emergency drinking water pouches, heirloom seeds, survival coffee, instructionals and tips. You can pay over time. They even have a disaster replacement warranty. So if anything happens to your items, if anything happens to your items, this is important, and this is really critical, they will replace it. This is the most incredible thing anybody's ever seen. It defies anything we have seen. So listen and listen carefully, my friends. Listen to me and listen carefully. I'm just saying right now, before we go on, preparewithlionel.com. That's all I'm going to tell you. Preparewithlionel.com. It's something that I'll never forget. Somebody said, "Are you a prepper? Are you a prepper?" Okay. I still can't believe it. If I was in charge of the world, what I would do is I would make sure, and I mean this, that I figured a way how to do this. I would make sure that I knew exactly how to create things by using silver iodide. And let me just stay on this subject for just a moment, because to me it's something which is so incredibly fascinating. There's Project Cirrus, Project Storm Fury. There is Project Operation or Project Popeye, cloud seeding. Since the beginning of time, do you know that people believed, they actually believed at one point, and this is important, they actually believed that there was and this is important, they believed that after battles, this is important, they believed that after battles, it would rain. And people believed that the sulfur from the guns and the cannons and whatever, that this would be somehow was responsible. They thought maybe this. So they were actually shoot. This is from the time of the 7 Year War, Napoleonic times. They believed that shooting cannons, even then, people were talking about weather modification. And while we're on this subject, years and years ago, I used to talk about this to the point that people thought, and this is why I was I'm serious. They thought this guy's out of his mind. This guy's out of his mind. He's out of his tree. What is he talking about? Weather modification. What the hell's the matter with this guy? They really did. I'm saying, you schmuck. Don't you want? And in fact, I used to look out the window, still do it, look over the Hudson River here in New York City, especially in the wintertime, when the sun went down, and you can see these streaks across the sky that never went away. This wasn't condensation. What are you talking about? Condensation. It was a stratospheric aerosol injection, solar radiation management, carbon dioxide removal. We were saying this forever. And what happened is when you went, and listen carefully, when you looked up the term, and this is important, when you looked up the term, chemtrails, people would say, you're a nut. You're a nut. You're a crazy lunatic nut. Geoengineering, different story. Bill Gates is promoting it, Harvard, MIT, the whole thing. Listen to me. Always understand something. Never be a conspiracy theorist. Be a conspiracy analyst. But don't say crazy stuff. Know the difference between saying, I wouldn't be surprised if, or gee, I wonder if, and when you talk about this fellow that you're saying, there's no evidence that he could be. Baden and the family are saying, that's him. Hyoid bone. The hyoid bone, this wonderful bone that floats under the mandible. Go right under your chin, all the way to the back, as far back as you can. It's the only bone It's not attached to anything. It's kind of like floating. And when it fractures, you can get it sometimes in clotheslines. It's really hard. You've got to have this incredible pressure, this anterior to posterior pressure, strangulation, even ligature won't do it. Even ligature won't do it because of the pressure that's involved. You've got to, it's going to be the thyroid cartilage fractured, petechial hemorrhaging in the eye from the pressure going up. Livor mortis. It was a textbook case for anybody who knows anything about even rudimentary pathology. Anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? But Bill Barr looked at you and said, "No, I don't think so." Looks at me, Bill, are you kidding? They love to do this. I don't think so. Well, I think Kamala is doing a great job. What are you talking about? She's not. No, she's not. She's terrific. Unburdened by the past and the future, whatever the hell she's talking about. What about Joe Biden? He's terrific. He's terrific. He's out of his tree. What are you talking about? No, he's not. He's sharp as a tack. They look you in the eye and they laugh at you. They laugh at you. They don't care what you think. They don't care in the least what you think. You don't understand something. You don't understand. This is the most important thing in the world. The most important thing in the world. Hang on. Talk amongst yourself. Hang on. Talk amongst yourself. Now, I'm a lawyer by profession. I don't really care about what could be, what should be. If you can't prove it, I'm not interested. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not interested. If you're not, if you're, things are terrific, whether it's Kennedy, whether it's 9/11, whether it's World War II, whatever the particular thing is, I don't care about what's a popular notion. Okay. I'm just not. There has to be some kind of semblance of authority to it. Let's talk about Diddy. Diddy is holding the world in his hand. Diddy is worse than that other guy. Diddy is worse than the other guy. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Am I making sense to you? He's worse than the other guy that they offed. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm not kidding. I'm not. He is worse. He holds everybody. Let's go back for a little bit. First and foremost, there's a lot of people I know who think that the world of black entertainment is whatever is that, rap crap. Who was it? Greg Allman said rap is short for crap. Remember that? Oh, who cares? A bunch of monosyllabic gibberish. I don't know who these people are. They're no big. This is a gazillion-dollar business. Dear God. It's bigger than anything you could ever even imagine. Imagine. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's bigger than anything you can imagine. And not only that, there are people who for the longest time have been used as agents of the shadow government. And for those of you who don't know what the shadow government is what people call sometimes the deep state. I never said deep state's an old term that goes back to the era of Turkey and the like. Turkey, yeah, you know that. Now listen to me carefully. I want you to think of the biggest names ever. And I'm not going to tell you, and I'm not suggesting, because I've not read the case. I've not read the internals. I've not read the investigation. I've read nothing about it. Think of every, every big name in black entertainment, black, African American, whatever. Not that they're involved, but just think of the name. Oprah, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, just go down the list. Everybody. Names of rappers, I have no idea who they are. From Diddy to Kanye to this to that, Beyonce, Jay-Z. Now, again, not connected. Just throw out the names. Think of the name. Put this huge amalgam. Barack Obama, Kamala Harris. Just throw this out. Okay. Now, this guy is connected to this guy, and this guy is connected to that guy. And the greatest person alive today, one of my heroes today, is a gentleman who came along that if he doesn't watch it, Eddie Griffin I love, and Cat Williams. Cat Williams is the prophet. Cat Williams is what Alex Jones was before he went whatever, off the reservation, or whatever he did, whatever Alex Jones did. He's very, very good. But Alex took on an affect and a look. I worry about his health. I worry about a lot of things. But Alex Jones, in his prime, was responsible for some of the best information entertainment you could imagine. And Cat Williams was on the Shannon Sharp show, Club Shay Shay. It moved the world. He was talking about the Illuminati. Chaos would love this. Oh, everything. I mean, the Knights of the Templar. I mean, you name it, he was talking about. Now, sit down and listen to Uncle Lenny. I'm going to tell you about some stuff. And it's been going around for a long time. And some of it is weird, some of it's hard to explain, but I only talk about things that are true. How many of you, yes or no, if you've heard of this, just push number 1. Okay? And by the way, when you want to pluralize something, don't put apostrophe S. The plural of parties is parties, not party apostrophe S. I don't know why people think apostrophe S pluralizes things. It does not. Stop doing it. Could have done something. I could have been there. OF. No, have. Could have. I know sometimes when you speak, sometimes just get these things straight. Don't say mischievous. It's mischievous. Not mischievous. I don't know what that word is. Nuclear doesn't exist. Tijuana. Let's go to Tijuana. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana. No, Tijuana. 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 Not Tijuana. Not jewelry. Realtor. Don't throw in other words. All right. It was like these are like the opposite of elisions. Okay. You got that? Let us speak correctly. That's one of the reasons why I believe that the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, is in trouble, because he speaks like a moron. He speaks a I don't know what this is, a rusticator, churlish, boorish, just pathetic English. It's difficult to understand, and the worst accent, speaking style, patois, whatever you want to call it. Number 1 in the world today, number 1 is Tiffany Henyard, mayor of Dalton, Illinois. Absolutely on another planet. There are infants who speak better than she is. She's brain damaged, in my opinion. Fret Pound says, what about it possessives when a name ends in S? Joneses. The correct way, believe it or not, is apostrophe S. Joneses. Jones apostrophe S. But sometimes out of convention, we will put apostrophe. Like the word I could care less, or the phrase I could care. Doesn't mean anything. If you could care less, what's the point? You couldn't care less. Well, okay, fine, I could. It's one of those things. Irregardless, I love to tell people, irregarding the matter at hand, irregarding. One of my favorites sometimes, I love to hear this. I love to hear, and I've heard this forever, being from the South, being from Tampa, Florida. Please remember, preparewithlionel.com. I'm begging you, go and I don't care if it's a book of matches, you're going to need this. I can't say this again, ladies and gentlemen. I can't say this again. They're going to have something one day to shut everything down. It's going to be a strike. It's going to be ransomware. Remember that weekend where there was a ransomware problem? There were how was it? Gas stations closed because of ransomware. I said, what the hell's a ransomware? Was holding the pump ransom? I don't know what the hell that means. Strikes. Remember the yellow vests in Paris? Remember the truckers strike? They just go away. All of a sudden, China owns everything. Any kind of an interruption in anything. Remember the longshoreman strike that we were going to have? Remember that one? Fret Pound says, where I come from, they say the Joneses car, and I laugh at them. Joneses, yes. That's like incidences, people who double pluralize. The name Anna Herleman, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Anna. Let's give a big hand to Anna Herleman, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Oh, I love these. I. Yes, S. Als Jackson. ALS, I hope not. Buy a ham radio now. Yes, dear friend. Yes. Also, listen to me. Preparewithlionel.com. Those radios that you don't need batteries for. You get really old school. Remember what I want, ladies. But please, if you've just tuned in to the Uncle Lenny show, the reason why I use the word, I was on the air one time as this woman laughed. She says that her mother, this viewer member like you, her mother yelled, "Are you listening to that Lenny guy again?" Lenny. So it's always been Uncle Lenny. Okay. Just as a joke. Food, water, energy, ammo, gold. Gold. So you can have these, you can have whatever you want. People ask, where should I get gold from? That's a good question. Do you recommend somebody? Absolutely. The best of the best of the best. The greatest guy, first of all, one of the nicest people, and that means something to me. I'm so tired of churlish, horrid people. But the best people in the world is a place right now. It's just called LionelNationGold.com at Noble Gold Investments. LionelNationGold.com. One more time. LionelNationGold.com. I love that one. And the reason why is very, very simple. My favorite is the kilo. You ever see a gold kilo? Have you ever held this before? Like our friend Menendez, Senator Menendez in New Jersey. You ever see a gold kilo? I don't have one handy, but they can stick right in your pocket. Just 2.2 pounds. It's no big deal. It's like that. $86,000. Boom, right there. That's it. I know you got your Bitcoin, and I know that stuff is great. And I know, and God, I'm not trying to talk about that, but you could literally, by the way, here's another one too. Literally, bruh. Literally, a little timeout. You know what my hobby is? Ready for this? You're gonna think I'm demented. You're gonna think I'm out of my tree, and baby, I am. But you know what I love more than anything else? I love watching police arrest videos where Karens and people say, I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to show you I'm a sovereign citizen. You can't pull me out of this car. You can't ask me questions. I don't have to tell you anything. Next thing you know, they're on the ground. They got the baton up their ass. Come on, sovereign citizen. There you go. Time out. Little Uncle Lenny, lawyer, trial lawyer, prosecutor. I've been through this a gazillion times. The person who pulled you over may be a prick. Make sure you have in your car paper. I have this wonderful little thing. I got it on Amazon. It's a little plastic thing. It says my documents. It's got my my insurance card. Forget it on your phone. Forget that. Because your phone's like, oh, what's good? And you got a load on. Hang on a minute, officer. Just a minute. Oh, shit. There's no internet. I can't. Can I put settings? Just a minute. Skyco. I got the little lizard. A little gecko lizard. I got a little lizard. Hang on a minute. God damn it. Where in the hell was this? Just a minute. No. Paper. Your little space. Registration inside this little thing. Oop, there it is. Make sure you have it. Don't fumble for it. Don't say that's not it. What is this? Happy birthday. That's an old card. No. Your license. Have it. Not on your phone. Don't give them your phone. And be nice. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I don't know. Sometimes, and if you're loaded, I can't even tell. I don't even know what to tell you about that. I don't even know what to tell you. Why people drive drunk with Uber? I have no idea. Because when you're drunk, you think you can drive. Because you got a load on. You got your load on and you think you can drive. You're arrebatado. You think, oh, I can drive. I'm great. And you can always tell how drunk you were the night before by how loud the radio is on the old days. Remember, on the windshield wipers. Anyway. So these people who are part of, they always say, literally, bruh. Hey, bruh. Not bro, bruh. B-R-U-H, bruh. And they think the word literally means something. My eyes were literally, bruh, I literally died. No, you didn't. I can prove that. Why? Because you're not dead. Bruh, my eyes literally, bruh, bruh, I hate that. Literally. Stop with a literally. I don't know why people say that. I don't know what this literally means. I literally called you. Okay. You mean you actually called? Yes. Literally, you picked up the phone and you dialed literally. Wait. You dialed? I can't. Okay. Now, as you can see, one thing, I talk about a lot of topics. And if you don't like it, do me a favor, go someplace else. Just get the hell out of here. Some people say, what is he talking about? He's talking about that guy, and then we're talking about drunks and the he likes to watch video. What's this guy going? It's called a conversation. I think about whatever I say. Like President Trump says, I weave. Who's going to win? And by the way, let me just say something to you, my friends. The election is not 24 days from now. The election is going on right now. Who's going to win? Right now, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Look at this. Will Diddy be the October surprise? Interesting. Drock Ulia. Is this a great name or what? Ladies and gentlemen, from parts unknown, weight unknown, Drock Ulia. Is it Ulia? Yes. I love that name. Now, who's going to win? Come on, you folks. Is there anybody here who thinks that Gay Mala is going to win? Anybody here? Anybody here? What the hell is the matter with this person? Look at this one. Tony Garrett, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Garrett, also known as Snuff Garrett. Tony Garrett says, "My heart says Trump. My head says wait and see." Damn right, brother Tony. Damn right. Change of subject. You know how they have these people? Well, here's Lara Trump. Oh, Jesus. Lara Trump. Lara Trump. What is Lara Trump? No, I don't know. Lara Trump's going to be there. She's head of the RNC. She's head of the RNC? Yeah, what does she know about this? Well, I don't know. She's Eric's. I know she's Eric's wife. What does she know? I don't know. I don't know. Well, what's she doing? I don't know. Well, does she know what she's doing? I guess she does. I don't know. But I know. I'm just going to tell you this. There's this thing. I don't know what this thing is. I don't know what to tell you about this, but there's these group, Turning Point, USA. These people are going out there. They're going to be watching this. Charlie Kirk's going to be watching that. Ooh, yeah, Charlie Kirk. Let me tell you something. First of all, I couldn't give a diddly damn about what you think. What these people do is great to remind you of the most obvious stuff in the world. Well, let me tell you what Charlie Kirk and Lara Trump and all these other people who want to watch the polls, okay? Forget the polls. It's not going to be through Smartmatic or Dominion. Not going to talk about machines. I don't know the first thing about machines. They went nuts with it. Remember that? Hi, I'm Sidney Powell. We're going to release the Kraken. Poor Rudy Giuliani went out of his tree without what happened to him? Remember that Jenna Ellis? These people were standing around and what are you talking about? And the servers are on Venezuela. Do you know that? I don't know, but No. Let's say I have a story, okay? You want to hear my story? You want to hear Uncle Lenny's story? Let me tell you what it is, okay? I have a story. It's an idea. I want you to know that the letter carriers union are people who, believe it or not, the letter carriers union, they are endorsing Guatemala. All right? Okay. NGO ballot mills. What the hell are you talking about? Here's my story. Hear me out. Call it a conspiracy theory. This is what I would do. I pick up the phone and I say, listen, there's a guy in the Pennsylvania Secretary of State's office in Harrisburg or wherever it is. They're going to be sending out all of the ballots. Give me paper ballots. I don't want machines. I want paper ballots. Do you hear me? Paper ballots. Absentee, write-in, that's what I want. It's what Uncle Lenny wants, okay? Now, in my movie, somebody says on Wednesday, they're going out. You know how they mail things en masse? Big cartons, big flats for mail. There's, those white mail, kind of like those, you know what I mean? They're going out. They're going out from the Secretary of State, wherever it is. And this is a while back. And the post office, either they have a liaison, somebody gets a hold of those. I don't need all those. I don't want all of them. I want a bunch of them. 7 states, 15 counties. 5,000 here, 500 there. It's no big deal. Tight race. That's number one. All of a sudden, I get him. I got a guy who works, I got a mole in the Secretary of State's office. I got a mole with the post office, and I've got this one thing. Let's assume we have this thing that comes in, and it's this letter, it's this piece of mail. And while Charlie Kirk and whoever, I keep saying Charlie Kirk, I don't mean him any harm, but I think he's just full of shit. Anyway, but a lot of people are, but that's okay. Number one most important person in the world is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is going to have Donald Trump on his show in the last couple of days before the election. It makes everybody, because Elon's going to make sure that happens. Elon says it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I love Elon. Don't trust him, but he's all we have, and I'll take it whatever it's worth. Okay. Joe, they're all looking around. Who is that? Pedro? Is a guy with a sombrero? Where are you from? Is he legit? I don't know. I don't know about these people. Okay, while you're looking at individuals and looking at their driver's licenses, get me in the back. Here's a guy. They're going to empty out a bunch of absentees, and this guy's going to open it up. I said, "How are you, sir? What's your name, Timmy?" Okay, Timmy, open up that letter. What do you got there? This is from this is a legitimate letter. It's got a scan. Okay, yeah, it looks good. Maybe there's a watermark, maybe not, but it's legit. Okay, and it is printed by the office. At the top left, it says the name Demetrius Splitkin, 123 Main Street, Kensington, Pennsylvania. Actually, Philly. Kensington is where all the zombies are. Okay. Question number one. Who is Demetrius Splitkin? Well, his name. No. Does he exist in, was it North Carolina? They vetted 300 and, no, about 300,000, maybe more, people who were dead, people who moved, multiple names, people who went from one county to the next or one state to the next, people who graduated from dorms 20 years ago. They're still getting the ballots. They've got, but anyway, Demetrius Splitkin. Okay. Do we know him? Yes. Does that name exist in Pennsylvania? Just a minute. Run that name against driver's license records, prior voter rolls, voter tax rolls. Does the name? No, the name doesn't exist. Do this again. You mean Demetrius Splitkin votes, but he doesn't drive a car. He doesn't own property. He doesn't know. Okay. Red flag number one. Not only that, there's a bunch of these people at different addresses. Demetrius Splitkin, yeah. Same guy, 5 different addresses. Red flag number 2. Next, 123 Main Street. What is that? What do you mean, what is that? Well, what is it? Well, it's an address. Can we do a Google search on it? Yeah. Okay. 123 Main Street, Kensington. It's a Best Buy. What? It's a TJ Maxx. It's an empty lot. It's a shed. It's a business. You can't have a business. It's got to be a home. It's got to be a place with a bed. People live. Or you've got, let's do this. Let's reverse it. Let's run 123 Main Street. And it shows up 100 different ballots. 100 people live there. And it's a little shack. Or it's a corner. Or it's an abandoned lot. They don't do any change. They don't do. I'm not done yet. In New York City, where I am, they've got apartment buildings. They have 500 people in there. 600, I don't know. One building. So if you do, 235 East 72nd Street, and that's the building, but there's no apartment or unit numbers, guess what? It's undeliverable. It goes back. Who gets it? This guy. Thank you. I'll take it back. I paid him up back. I opened my right in Kamala Harris. This has been going on since the beginning of time. It's not the paper. It's the names. It's the addresses. Do they exist? They think that just because this is in the mail, everything's groovy. It's not groovy. The Democrats can steal things by the rules. Fair and square, they can steal it. You know it and I know it. And let me tell you what they do. If they steal it again, how many believe? How many believe? Truly believe? Do you believe Joe Biden won the election in 2020? I'm asking you a question. Do you believe? If you put yes, just put the number one. You don't have to type anything, just put number one. If it's no, type number two. Now let's see one of these. Let's just see this. Do you believe he won the election? Actually won it. If you believe so, press the number one. If you don't, press the number two. Now, it's so funny. Whenever I say push the number one, push the number two, people will say, hell no. I say, I didn't say right, hell no. I want to see the number. I want to see the numbers. You are a conspiracy theorist. You are an election denier. You, my favorite, vintage integrated circuit. Can you believe this shit? I one time was working for a television station. I was about to do my commentary or whatever the hell it was. And this guy next to me, no, this guy who was working, I didn't know who. All of a sudden, as I got done, he turned his head around and scared the hell out of me. And he said, can you believe this shit? And I thought, that's the name of my show. Can you believe, Belee, DIH, shit, SHIH. Can you believe this shit? That's the name of my show. Because that's the whole story. Can you believe what we're seeing? We have a moron who's running for president. I don't know what the hell's going on. You've got a liar, Tampon Timmy, who lies about stuff that's stupid. Stupid. By the way, quick roll call. Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Give me an idea of where you're from. And don't tell me Ohio. And don't tell me your address. Give me the name of the city and the state. Furlongville, South Dakota. I want to know where are we talking about? Oregon. I just said don't put the state, put the city. I want to know the name of the city where you get your mail, where it says there. The name Portland, Oregon. Thank you. Tony says, okay. I guess either that's Oklahoma or maybe he's just saying, okay. I have no idea. I have no earthly idea. I've been getting these texts. How's it going today? Are you, do you want, so these people trying to get me to answer, don't ever answer strange texts. Look at this, Saratoga-ish, New York. I love this. Kentucky, Okeechobee. Ooh, Okeechobee. Is that like Lake Okeechobee? Oklahoma, the Ozarks, Branson, Mount Vernon, Jefferson City, the Kingdom of Denmark, city of Østbirk region. Oh, I love this. Horsens commune in the Verds. Santa Claus comes from the Verds in December and gives toys to the children in the hood. That's, of course, Frederick. Thank you. All Alone Prepper, Prepare with Lionel, Louisville, Tennessee. By the way, do this joke. Ask somebody, how do they pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Is it Louisville or Louisville or Louisville? And people say, Louisville. No, Frankfurt. You got, Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Anthony Myers Sr., lest you forget, Coventry, Rhode Island. A great and a grand man. Look at this. I love to hear where people are from. Hell's Kitchen, bless your heart. That's me in the kitchen. Love it. Who cannot love the name Hell's Kitchen? A while back, you remember when they were going to call it, they did. Clinton? Oh, please stop it. We call it the kitchen. So anyway, my friends, Diddy, Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Useberry says, "We love you in Casper, Wyoming, Uncle Lenny." Casper, Wyoming, is that near? That's near, of course. Oh God, I cannot believe, Kevin. What's the name of the place I told you I went to the other day? Oh God, what's the name of the Kevin? Do you remember the name? In Wyoming, not because I drove the cap. What's the name of it? It's the best name. Not flat. Oh God, you might have heard me talk about it. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. When I get into this, when I am into these modes, yes, look at this. It's in the middle. I think you said Cheyenne. No, it wasn't a Cheyenne. I think about yes, I went to Cheyenne, but there was a hang on a minute. The note I loved no, it's called oh God. It was the best one. Chug water, chug water, chug water, chug water. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Chug water. I loved it. The flat driving into chug water. It was just wow. I never saw anything that looks. It's just beautiful. This little town, like not a lot of people there. I liked it, and the top of the mountains or the mesas or whatever the hell you want to call it, no idea, but just flat. It's beautiful. Chug water. My favorite name in Florida is Sop Choppy. Sop Choppy. Is that great? Sop Choppy is where they have the grunting festival every year. This is where they used to have this device you would put into the ground and the earthworms would come out. It's called grunting. They would also do an electric charge. Right around Dade City, around San Antonio, Florida, in the middle, we had the rattlesnake roundup. And I went there one year. I said, how many rattlesnakes can they be there? More rattlesnake belch, rattlesnake this, rattlesnake meat, rattlesnake fritters, rattlesnake bit, rattlesnake cologne, more rattlesnakes in this one little area than you could imagine. So anyway, going back to the original story, Diddy cannot be allowed to, dare I say, be able to discuss what happened. If you know what I mean, he cannot be allowed. Do you hear what I'm saying? Okay? Do you hear what I'm saying? Good. Make sure you hear what I'm saying. That's all I'm telling you. Make sure you hear what I'm saying. All right, dear friends. To you wonderful people who donated to the cause, Kevin Ujvari, like the way I said, Anna Herleman, Fret Pound, thank you. Thank you. And for the rest of you cheap, miserable bastards who take, who never believe in, I'm kidding, of course. Thank you for watching. We'll be again live on Lionel Nation. Lionel Nation. This is the main channel that we do. This is more of a legal. We talk about other kind of fun stuff. Fret Pound says, best town name I've seen is a truck driver. Coxsackie, New York. Sounds like something Popeye would call it, something muttering under his breath. Or it sounds like some type of a, dare I say, a scrotal reference. Those are, in Florida, as we say where I'm from, we have names like Withlacoochee, Panasofsky, Micanopy, Okeechobee, Thanodisasa, Sopchop, it's more something. Uh, Apalachicola, just great names, very, very, tough. Kissimmee, right outside of Orlando. A lot of Indian sounding sort of things, you know what I mean? I'm glad to say that my family and friends survived Helene, excuse me, and Milton, but there were parts of it that were absolutely, positively done. Homes that will never be, where people just had to leave, just had to leave. And let me tell you something, my friend. Here's how you tell if something is true. Remember, you only take flack when you're over the target. Go on some, I don't know, say something you want. Say that you believe that certain things cause. I heard something today about, remember those sticks they stuck up your nose to check for SARS-CoV-2, about the filaments. And again, I can't prove this, but it was something that made me say like, ooh, ooh. Remember everything that you couldn't say during the Rona? Remember that? Everything you thought, everything you were suspicious of, and now they're saying, yep, that's true. Yep, that's true. You were right. You were right. You only take flack when you're over the target. So if somebody says, hey, 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 watch that. When they say that there's no Haitians eating cats and dogs, and by the way, check out my interview with Sean Atwood, my good buddy, one of the best ever. He was coughing. He was laughing so much. But when you hear people talking about cats and dogs and whatever, there's something to that because they don't want you to say it. And how about people in Springfield, Ohio saying, I'm telling you, they were the Haitians who can't drive it anymore. So whenever they tell you, watch out. When Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about lights and what appeared to be lasers, they immediately discounted it. She didn't say it was Jewish lasers. It's not what she said. But you know you're right when they go crazy. Remember that. So whenever they tell you they find something objectionable, keep it up. Keep thinking. Grow a pair of balls. I don't care whether you're right or wrong. I'll defend you. Do me a favor. Try to know the difference between fact and opinion and suspicion. That's all I'm saying. But if not, you know what? It's a free country. You can say whatever you want. Because if numbnuts Kamala can say she worked in a McDonald's when she didn't, well, Tampon Timmy can say that he single-handedly brought a football team to the championship when he didn't. When he can say that he carried a gun in war when he didn't. When he can say that he retired as a command sergeant major when he didn't. When he can say that his wife had IVF when she didn't. And it goes on and on and on. You can say whatever you want. Why? I'm a knucklehead. That was the best thing. I'm a knucklehead. No, you're a liar. No, I have a problem with grammar. No, you're a goddamn liar. Okay? Okay. One more time, my friends. Remember this. Make sure you write this down and go look. Wait till you see the stuff they have. Preparewithlionel.com. There's going to be something else coming. It may not be a hurricane. It may not be a snowstorm. It may not be weather. It may just be insurrection. It may be a grid problem. It might be some EMP. They always talked about Iran years ago. Destroying, sending some missiles somehow and detonating some low orbit, low yield, some nuclear weaponry that takes out the grid. Imagine this country with no internet. Imagine this country with no electricity. Imagine these people without phones. Literally, bruh. Literally. Let me tell you something. I would rather be with you people than the finest people in the world. And I mean that sincerely. That's from the movie Roxanne, one of my favorites. When they read the names of the great audience members, and you'll be out there listening. And I mean that sincerely. All right, dear friends, thank you so much. Have a great and a glorious day. See you tonight at 7 p.m. on Lionel Nation. And until then, remember this valedictory, this adios, this sayonara, this denouement, sort of. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you.